What's up, y'all? It's Jeremiah with ADF. Introducing Little Suite. Little Suite is a little less adventure van, a little more luxury coach. Let's dive in and check it out. You'll notice that we have split beds. These are individual beds, they're discrete, they do not connect down the middle. The idea is 2 individual sleeping spaces. They are not a dinette, there are no seatbelts in here. You'll see this mattress is almost 9 inches thick. That allows me to get a layer of dense support foam, a layer of medium support foam, and a 3-inch layer of memory foam on top. Incredibly comfortable for a nice deep night's sleep. We've got a 72-inch long bed, but behind that is just kind of overflow space for your pillow, for your feet, for things that don't necessarily need to have that full 9-inch thick mattress. So we use that same space for storage. We've got a hinge system in the middle, and the sides pull out. You'll notice all the way around the bed space, we've got these Arctic turn windows. So this window, it's nice because it has different settings that it can open up to. It can close down, or it can kind of open up and stay in that open position. I've got a blackout curtain up high and a magnetic bug net down low. So I can either have open access, I can black it out, or I can have light and protection from bugs. So one nice part about the way that we built this and arranged things is underneath the driver's side where I'm sitting is all the power system. On the passenger side, it's wide open for storage. So we designed it to where this mattress can kind of flip up against the wall, and then the top hinges up. It's got a gas strut to hold this up, so I'm not sitting here trying to hold that up as I'm loading or unloading. So I have tons of storage that's accessible from inside my cab area or from the back doors. All right, so looking on the driver's side, I've got all my power electronics. I've got 4 Battle-Born Game Changer batteries. So each of these modules is 270 amp hours. You notice I've got 2 different 3,000 watt power inverters. One power inverter is dedicated solely to running our GREE EcoCool air conditioner, which is a 15,000 BTU AC and heat unit. The other inverter is dedicated to all of the power systems of the van as far as power outlets go. The microwave, maybe hair dryer, your induction cooktop is all a dedicated inverter. So I'm never at risk of overloading my inverter or power system when I'm running my AC, but also when I run other items inside the vehicle. At the back of the van, in like the personal sleeping space, we have an upper cabinet on either end. They're both symmetric in size, so we have only cabinets over our bed spaces. So another really nice part about having these cabinets stop shy is I've got space here to maybe put on a jacket, I can sit down, put on my shoes, my partner can sit on the other side, put on their shoes, get their dresses as well, and we have room to move about each other. And it really makes the interior feel a lot bigger. I'm not competing with space, especially head space, with these upper cabinets. One other nice feature is we integrated a stainless steel curtain rod that divides the front kind of living space with the back sleeping and dressing space. This allows us to have a divider curtain here to provide a little extra privacy if someone sleeps in a little bit later. Magnets down the middle. It just gives a little more privacy for someone who might be sleeping later than the other person. Another really nice part about this gap between my upper cabinet and my bathroom wall is we were able to integrate a stainless steel clothes rod for hanging up shirts, dresses, just general wardrobe type kind of hangers there, and keep them a little bit nicer so that they're not going to be all wrinkled up and you can be a little more presentable with wherever your travels might take you. Little Suite is a luxury coach that's based out of Florida. So we're dealing with a lot of heat and a lot of humidity on a daily basis. So rather than our traditional 12-volt mounted rooftop AC unit, we went with this GREE EcoCool 15,000 BTU heat and AC unit. This is a 110 volt unit, so it does not go directly through the battery, which is why we have that power inverter dedicated to this unit. But it is 15,000 BTU, so it makes a huge difference in not only airflow. If you'll notice, this register is a lot deeper than normal, so it's able to really push air forward and back, and you can feel that airflow significantly more. I've also got a lower register, so I can control airflow during blowing directly down out of this unit. So one really nice part about this AC is just how quiet it is. You might be able to tell like a little bit of the humming in the background, but this AC has been on the entire time we've been filming, and it's not a nuisance, it's not distracting in any way. If not, you might even not hear it. So it's a really low noise yet highly powerful and efficient unit. It doesn't take a ton of power. It does require my second inverter to run it, but it works really incredibly well, and I'm very confident that it's going to keep up in that Florida heat. All right, one unique feature that we designed specifically for Little Suite, this luxury coach, is a rounded profile on our bathroom. So we've never done that before. It's a new challenge that the customer brought to us and we were able to really execute on. And we just kind of brought in this rounded profile that matches our upper cabinets, but we integrated that into our bathroom, which is really a large structure. So it softens up these edges, makes the space feel a little more open, and really caters into that compression type feel. I'm not jumping from a wide spot to a narrow spot. I'm kind of funneling in and takes that kind of pressure off of that sharp corner. It's allowed us to do a more inset door for my bathroom. I've allowed to inset a mirror here, and it just changes the overall feel and finish and just emotion you get from the interior of this van. All right, one thing you're gonna notice on this luxury coach is tons of countertop space. I've got nearly a 5-foot long counter here. I've got a 15-inch by 20-inch Ruvati zero radius sink right in the middle. So one additional feature we added to this luxury coach is a carpet padding on the bottom of all the drawers. So this extra padding, it's removable, so I can pull it out and blow it off or wipe it down, but it's gonna dampen a lot of the noise coming from this drawer. So any rack of utensils, or if you have barbecue utensils or things that might be a little bit harder, that might rattle and click and move around as you drive, it's gonna dampen a lot of that noise. That way, even if you're fully loaded, this thing sounds as good as it looks going down the road. This middle drawer here, it's actually a double hidden drawer. So it's one combined face, and then this special dedicated drawer just for the induction cooktop. So this stores in here, I can pull it out, set it up to cook a meal here or on the other side, and I'm not trying to find an awkward spot to store it while I'm in motion. All right, so one of the challenges that we face trying to integrate a nice sized microwave inside this more compressed cabinet with a lack of upper storage cabinet is just how to fit it in the first place. We wanted to go with a nice luxurious unit with a brushed stainless front to match our refrigerator and have something a little bit larger than our standard upper cabinet microwave. So we're able to find this Panasonic unit. It is a convection oven and a microwave, and we flush mounted it with our cabinet, and we integrated tons of airflow internally to this space. So we've got airflow below it and on both sides to allow this thing to breathe easily and not overheat during the most extreme of use. All right, so going back to our kind of unique bathroom for this van, we touched on it earlier, but we have the rounded profiles rather than a square corner, and a single door. So rather than our traditional double door, we're able to do an entire single piece face here, integrate a mirror onto our door so it's all flush mount, and then inset this door into the actual face of the cabinet. So it's a lot cleaner of a look. It gives us a nice full-length body mirror, and we don't lose any structural integrity for the door itself by integrating that mirror, and it's all nice and compact and really luxurious looking. So with the way this door opens, it goes nearly all the way around, so I have easy access from front or back. Internally, the entire space has all got the Rhino-Liner coating. I've got different mounts for my shower head, so I can have a storage mount for when I'm driving, move it a little bit farther away if I'm going to be showering, standing in this space. And we've actually got a curtain here that's on a sliding rail that's gonna slide all the way across this door opening and then magnet to the sides here. So when I'm inside this bathroom, I can engage these magnets and have a very waterproof surface in here that's not gonna allow any water to leak around the perimeter of this door. This fan has a luxury porcelain, so it's a very solid RV style gravity dump toilet. So it's actually a hard plumb toilet with a black water tank. It's plumbed by fresh water. We've got a foot pedal to dump and rinse water. And then on this one, we actually integrated this special nozzle here to help wash down the bowl of my toilet. So you get a little, keep it a little bit cleaner, a little more presentable, a little more usable for the next person. Being as this is a shower space, we do have a lot of humidity and a lot of kind of temperature differences to mitigate. So we added a little bit of an extra vent at the top just to allow the airspace inside that bathroom to more equally distribute with the rest of the airspace in the van. So it's gonna allow more airflow in or out, more humidity control in and out. And this is gonna pair well with a window internally to the bathroom, as well as there's another vent fan inside. So it's really gonna help keep air circulating and keep that bathroom a little more comfortable. Looking at the driver's side front section of the van, I like to call this kind of our coffee corner. So we've got dedicated countertop space specifically made for a coffee pot. It can be a coffee pot, espresso machine. This is my coffee zone. Below that, we've got an Isotherm Cruise 130 refrigerator. This is a really large 4.6 cubic foot fridge plus freezer. It is on a drawer, so I can get to it from either side, depending on where I'm at in the van. All right, moving outside of the little suite, we've got our in-house fabricated solid aluminum running board. In opting for the more luxury motor coach style feel for this van, we opted for the Michelin Agilis cross climate tires. So this is a 3500 dual rear wheel. It's still a 3-peak mountain snowflake rated tire, so it can still handle snow and ice conditions just fine, but it's a lot less aggressive of a tread. So it's gonna last longer, and more importantly, it's gonna sound a lot better on the highway. You're not gonna get that hum of an all-terrain tire as you're going down the road. If you look up top on this van, it's gonna look a lot more simple than most of the vans we do. Remembering that we're not really going for adventure van, we're going for luxury coach, everything is streamlined. You can see the air conditioner on the roof, but otherwise you can't see a thing. It's gonna keep it more low profile, less wind resistance, and better fuel mileage. One thing to note on the outside is we went with Arctic turn windows. So this is an acrylic glass rather than a real solid glass panel. It's gonna cut down on noise as well as temperature going from inside or outside of the van. So it's gonna be a little more comfortable of a feel on the interior of this vehicle. On the back of the van, we did relocate the spare tire from underneath to the back door, which allowed us to mount a 35-gallon freshwater tank where the spare tire was originally mounted. Moving down the driver's side, I've got my smart plug Shoreline Power hookup. For Shoreline Power, rather than our traditional twist lock 30 amp connector, we went with this smart plug got kind of locking connectors on the side. So when this opens up, it's an easier plug-in and a really solid locking in place. And to pull it back out, I squeeze these sides and pull the plug out. We've got our fresh water fill for our 35-gallon freshwater tank. And then moving down, we have a matching full-length running board along the driver's side, so all aluminum in-house fabricated. Underneath here, we've got our Blackwater drain. So we've got a 3-inch bayonet-style drain with a pull valve here that'll dump all the contents from the Blackwater tank. Look underneath our passenger seat. This is kind of our home for all of our electronics. So this is the fuses and circuit breakers for everything that we add to the car. So we have our fuse boards, multiple heavy-duty circuit breakers, and then we've also got this macerator switch here. After I've dumped my Blackwater tank, I have my valve still open. I'll turn this switch on, and it's gonna pump the contents from my gray water over to my Blackwater. It is a nice aggressive pump, so it's gonna really splash around in that tank and kind of wash out the inside of the tank, and allow me to dump that tank through a single output on the driver's side. In the event that you just want to dump just the gray water tank and don't have to want to pump it through the Blackwater, we do have a dedicated drain just for the gray water. So this is a valve that's got the macerator hookup as well as just a standard bayonet style fitting to dump the gray water. Same style of cap, and it's got the same valve that can pull out and dump out my gray water. On the rear suspension, we change out the shocks for a Falcon adjustable rear shock. That allows me to really fine tune the ride quality based off of the weight of the van and the driving specifics of the individual customer. Some people like their van to ride a little more stiff and a little more sporty. Others like it to absorb the bumps more and be a little more comfortable. And we also change out the rear leaf springs with the Van Compass Opterate spring pack. This spring pack gives me this adjustable block here that activates these straight leaves at the bottom. So what it does is essentially adds more spring rate to the back end with adjustable plates that I can remove or add in depending on the weight of the van. So it gives us some extra tunability and ride height control of the back to where I can control how high in the back of the van sits and make sure that we have enough suspension kind of flow to handle the full range of motion of this rear suspension. One of the most frustrating things while you're out camping is wasting water waiting for it to get hot if you're doing dishes or taking a shower. To solve this, we actually added a series of valves that pumps hot water to each of these components on a timed switch. So when you're ready to use that hot water, you turn on your sink or faucet and you have hot water already there at that faucet ready to use. To use it, we've got a simple switch up here that's on a timer circuit. It's gonna activate valves, recirculate that hot water back to the freshwater tank, so I'm not wasting any water, and it's not gonna be on long enough to heat up that tank, just long enough to pump that hot water to my sink, to my shower head. So operationally, we try to keep this luxury coach simple and effective. So I've got a really basic monitor for my battery voltage, a simple control panel with laser engraved switches. I've got a main power switch, a switch for my inverter, the heat for my diesel fired heaters to activate the hot water and the hot air, my water pump, my hot water recirculation system. I've got different lighting zones all on dimmers, so I can press and hold these lights and they're gonna dim or brighten. On this van, like we do a lot of our adventure vans, we integrated the accent lighting above the 45, above my rear cabinets. We also added it to the toe kicks of this base cabinet. The toe kick lighting is nice because it illuminates this aisleway, eliminates the risk of stubbing a toe or banging a knee or a shin on any of these counters as you're walking through here at nighttime. One additional feature of this luxury coach is a stainless steel curtain rod along the front that divides the cockpit from the back of the van. And this really serves multiple purposes. The first being privacy. I have a quick and easy way to add some privacy to my kind of coach working section and block out view from anyone walking by the front without putting up my 3-piece cockpit kit. I've got a row of magnets down the middle and no center support in this rod. So I can split these and store them equally on either side, or I can dismount them from the sides and slide the entire thing to one end and get it out of my way. Another added benefit on those really, really hot days, I can close this up, block off my windshield and front windows, and reduce the airspace in the back of the van so my air conditioner has less space that it needs to work hard for to keep cool. So there you have it for Little Sweet, a luxury coach fresh off our line. If you're interested in a van just like this, or one catered to your own needs, reach out to us, sales@adfsprinters.com, or check out any of our social media @ADFsprinters.